Okay, welcome. How's this? Can people hear me this time? All right. Welcome, everybody. We are so happy to have a full house tonight. I can feel the energy in the room. So I want to welcome students. I want to welcome faculty. I want to welcome farmers, community members, whoever you are. We're glad to have a range of folks here with us here today. So as you know, this is the second annual Fast Food for Thought. And this is an event that's organized by the University of Michigan Sustainable Food Systems Initiative. And my name is Lilly Fink Shapiro. I work with the initiative. I work with several faculty and coordinators and staff here in the audience. I'm a graduate of the U of M School of Public Health. And the initiative is a combination of coursework. We have a new minor in sustainable food systems that launched last fall. We also now have a graduate certificate in sustainable food systems, which is hot off the press, and we can talk more about it later. Woo! We have about 50 faculty associated with the initiative from all different schools and departments across the university, so some of them are reflected here in today's talks. We have a website which you can check out and find out the latest events that are on the right side, and we have a little video. You can read more about us and see who's affiliated. We have a Facebook page, which is just the easiest way to kind of stay up to date and see what's going on. And then I also want to let you know we're so excited that just last week the initiative received a USDA grant, and we're going to have a host of really exciting, all right, thanks for the cheer, John. We have a host of really exciting activities to come. We're going to have a pretty big deal course called Food Literacy for All, and we're going to be able to bring in really big name speakers from across the country and across the world. And that will be something that will be open to both community members and students to take for credit. So clearly the interest across campus in food systems is growing, and it's in part evidenced by, I don't think there's a single seat open. So that's really exciting. I just want to let you know how this is going to work. So we actually have a total of 9 speakers, and then our 10th slot will be Q&A today. So we have 9 speakers who you see on the board. They will have 5 minutes each, and we have signs, so we're really going to keep it to 5 minutes. We'll do questions at the end, so please, scribble your questions down if you have them for a particular speaker. All of the talks will be recorded, and we'll post them both on our website and on our Facebook page. So there'll be little 5-minute segments that you can access. We're very official this year. We have a hashtag #UMFastFoodForThought. So get out there talking about us. And I want to thank, we have a really fantastic list of sponsors for the event. So thank you to the Department of Nutritional Sciences, the Graham Sustainability Institute, the School of Natural Resources and Environment, Program in the Environment, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, Latin American and Caribbean Studies, and the Law School. So with that, I will introduce our very first speaker, Tom Princen, who is faculty member at the School of Natural Resources and the Environment. His favorite food is apples, and his talk is called Why Food, Why Now?
Before my 5 minutes start, no, I can't do that. Let me presume to speak for the other speakers and thank all of you, particularly Lily and Lee and Yvette, and I'm sure there's others on the list for organizing and doing this. This is the second annual, and I'm sure it's going to be many, many more. This is really a wonderful event, and thank you for the invitation. Okay.
4 minutes.
Now, okay. In recent years, interest in food, all things food, seems to have skyrocketed. And I wonder why, and why now? And what's going on? Well, I don't have an answer, but I have 6 hypotheses. Okay? And the way I'm going to do it, if you want to participate in this one, as I go through each hypothesis, if you more or less agree, then just nod your head. If you disagree, just shake your head back and forth. And if you're not really sure what it's about or something, or just don't like it, just go like that. Okay? We'll collect these data and analyze them, and do something. I call this little data, big question research. Okay. First hypothesis, food is bad. There's a growing awareness everywhere, it seems like, that the stuff we're eating, putting in our mouths, in our bodies, is bad for us. It tastes bad, it looks bad, it feels bad. It's all processed, it's fast, it's too fast. And people are becoming aware of this, and therefore interest in food has just skyrocketed. That's hypothesis one. Okay, I see a few, okay, low date, no numbers, so forth. Okay, hypothesis two, the food system is destructive. It's destructive of our health, it's destructive of the environment, it's destructive of, we might say, the social fabric from the inequities that result from the distribution patterns from the local to the global. I see, okay. Hypothesis three, actually it's all talk. That is, there isn't really an increase in interest. There's just a lot more talk. There's a lot more maybe hype, a lot more reporting maybe, and certainly no real substantial change in practices. In fact, we've seen this before. It seems like almost every 30 years, some of us back in the 60s and 70s, we remember this same thing over and over again, and it probably was before that as well. So it really isn't a skyrocketing interest. Well, that knows, okay. Hypothesis four, I call this brains and hands. Okay. Someone once said that what distinguishes humans is the combination, and I emphasize the combination of brains and hands. Okay. That is that each of us, that in each, we acquire certain kinds of knowledge and certain kinds of intelligence. And it's the combination of those two that really makes us human. Now, some of us are known for going about with our head in the clouds, and so we're mostly sort of on the brains. Others are working with their hands all day long. But once again, it's the combination that seems to be what brings out the best in people. And so food is inherently both, I think, brains and hands. I mean, just think about the growing. What you have to know just to grow a crop. Know the land, know the weather, know markets, all the kinds of information that you have to have. And a lot of that knowledge is not through study, not through data, it's through the very feel of the land itself. But not just the growing, the distributing, the preparing, the eating itself is brains and hands, and the disposing itself. So maybe this increased interest is due to that combination, that we actually feel more human when we engage with food. Okay. Hypothesis 6. How am I doing? Am I okay still? Okay. Yeah. Hypothesis 5. I'll call this one, things are not working. From dysfunctional party politics to gun violence, from the financial system that seems to be repeating its same mistakes or ways of winning, to internet theft, to mass migration, to climate negotiations. Just things seem not to work. And the usual responses, the usual answers are often very abstract. That is, whether it's new concepts, something dear to my heart, new data, or more money even. It seems like none of this really is the answer. But if you took a seed and placed it in the earth, and you sort of stepped back and you protected it, you nurtured it, you tended it for a few weeks or months, and it grew, and pretty soon you harvested its fruits and you ate those fruits, then that works. And we know it works not just to get the crop, but we know it works because at the same time it's possible to build the soil doing that. It's possible due to the research of some of the pioneers in this field who are sitting in this room, one of whom is going to speak, it's possible to actually enhance biodiversity. And it's also possible to increase access to food. All that is possible. It can be done. So maybe that's another reason. Okay. Sixth and last hypothesis, very quickly, I'll call it fundamental change. We are running out of cheap energy. Irreversible effects are already occurring with respect to climate change. There's an emerging consensus, or at least belief within the financial community, that we're not going to pay back those trillions of dollars of debt that exist. And there's a growing concern that more economic growth, new technologies, and manufactured markets just won't do it. Things just don't add up. Business as usual cannot continue. Something is fundamentally wrong, and it's my sense that whether people are studying these things, as some of us here do, or just observing, that we all sense something is wrong. There's some kind of an anxiety, some kind of an angst that says this is fundamentally wrong. And so a logical response to go to is to go to fundamentals. That is, that on this single planet, living well on the single planet, and living well within the limits of the single planet, there's nothing as fundamental as doing the good work of growing and eating good food. Thank you.